Hello, fifth grade. We're on Domain 7, William Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream, Lesson 9, Living Character Map. Our objectives are to examine Act 1 and Scene 2 and demonstrate their understanding by answering questions and making inferences. Some key vocabulary. Despised is hated. Dank is damp and chilly. Churl is a rude person. Peril, risk. Vile is disgusting. Keen mockery is cruel teasing. Good troth is truthfully. Good sooth is honestly. And disdainful is insulting and cruel. So our summary for 2.2. So our characters for this one are Oberon, Puck, Helena, Demetrius, and Lysander. While Puck is fetching the flower, Demetrius enters looking for Hermia, but he is followed by Helena, who is in love with him. Oberon sees them and makes himself invisible. Demetrius insists that he doesn't love Helena, but she says that his refusal only makes her love him more. She even tells him that he can treat her like she is a dog. After a long argument, Demetrius leaves, followed by Helena. Puck returns with the flower and Oberon tells him that he will use it on Titania. But he tells Puck to take some of it and seek out the young Athenians and squeeze the love juice into the young man's eyes so that he will fall in love with the woman. Meanwhile, Hermia and Lysander have been wandering through the woods, heading to Lysander's aunt's house. They are exhausted and have lost their way, so they decide to take a nap. When they fall asleep, Puck shows up, and thinking that these are the Athenians that Oberon had told them about, he puts the juice into Lysander's eyes. When Lysander wakes up, the first person he sees is Helena, and he instantly falls in love with her. He leaves Hermia asleep and follows Helena farther into the woods. Hermia awakens and is frightened when she realizes that Lysander has left her alone. She heads off to find him. So one of the reasons Shakespeare's language feels different is that it often shifts from the normal way to an unexpected way. So he does this by changing the placement of the subject and the verb to verb subject. So so it kind of just like flip-flops the subject before the verb. So instead of saying I went to the store, he would say to the store I went. So you can see how he put the subject in place of the verb. So let's take a look at this. Aegeus says, full of vexation come I, instead of I come full of vexation. Then Lysander, there gentle Hermia, may I marry thee, instead of I may marry thee. Aegeus says, what is mine my love shall render him, instead of and my love shall render him what is mine. Helena says, things base and vile, holding no quantity, love can transpose to form and dignity, instead of love can transpose things base and vile to form dignity. So he just flip-flops the language a little bit in a way that we wouldn't typically put it, but that's just how Shakespeare language was. So sometimes he even leaves out words, which that's something he does all the time. So have you ever had a friend who just said, instead of said, I'm going to send you a text message later on today, they just say text you later. That's kind of how his language is. So let's look at this. So Theseus says, thrice blessed they that masters sow their blood, instead of thrice blessed are they that masters sow their blood. Now I know that's a little hard because the language is hard in this one, but he's omitting words that he doesn't necessarily need. Lysander says, steal forth thy father's house tomorrow night, instead of steal forth from thy father's house tomorrow night. He's just omitting some words for his, so again, this is really complicated to understand. That's okay. Shakespeare language is something that people study for many, many years over time. So the best thing to understand is that he can sometimes change subjects and verbs, and sometimes he takes out words altogether. Act 2, Scene 2. Puck, Helena, Demetrius, and Lysander. Puck, through the forest have I gone, but Athenian found I none, on whose eyes I might approve this flower's forest is stirring love. Night and silence, who is here? Dress of Athens he doth wear, this is he, my master said. Despise the Athenian maid, and hear the maiden sleeping sound on the dank and dirty ground. Churl, upon thy eyes I throw all the powder this charm doth owe. When thou wakest, I let the forbid sleep his seat on thy eyelid. So awake when I am gone, for I must now to Oberon. Puck exits. Demetrius and Helena enter running. Helena, stay through thou kill me, sweet Demetrius. Demetrius, I charge thee hence and do not haunt me thus. Helena, O wilt thou, darkling, leave me? Do not so. Demetrius, stay on thy peril, I alone will go. Demetrius exits. Helena, O I am out of breath in this fond chase. The more my prayer, the lesser is my grace. Happy is Hermia, wheresoever she lies, for she hath blessed and attractive eyes. How came her eyes so bright? Not with salt tears. If so, my eyes are oftener washed than hers. No, no, I am as ugly as a bear. For beasts that meet me run away from fear. Therefore, no marvel through Demetrius, do as a monster fly my presence thus. But who is here? Lysander on the ground, dead or asleep? I see no blood, no wound. Lysander, if you live, good sir, awake. Lysander, and run through fire I will for thy sweet sake. Transparent Helena, nature shows art, that through the bosom makes me see thy heart. Where is Demetrius? Oh, how fit a word is that vile name to perish on my sword. Helena, do not say so, Lysander, say not so. What thou he love her Hermia? Lord, what thou? Yet Hermia still loves you, then be content. Lysander, content with Hermia, no, I do repent the tedious minutes I with her have spent. Not Hermia, but Helena I love, who will not change a raven for a dove. The will of man is by his reason swayed, and reason says you are the worthier maid. Helena, wherefore was I to this keen mockery born? When at your hands did I deserve the scorn? Is it not enough, young man, that I did never know, nor never can, deserve a sweet look from Demetrius's eyes? Good troth, you do me wrong, good sooth you do, in such disdainful manner me to woo. But fare you well, perforce I must confess I thought you lord of more true gentleness. Oh, that a lady of one man refused, should of another therefore be abused. Helena exits. Lysander, she sees not Hermia. Hermia, sleep thou there, and never mayst thou come Lysander near. For all my powers address your love and might to honor Helen and to be her knight. Lysander exits. That is the end of today's lesson. We will see everyone next time.